How to give a TED Talk that people will love. It takes time to prepare a good TED or TEDx talk, and you want it to be good because it will support your business and career years after you give it. So let's make it look amazing! Hi, I'm Marina Baraeva. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your business and personal brand, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you won't miss anything. Going back to your TED Talk, preparation begins even before you get on the TED stage. First, you need to plan it well. One of the common questions at this stage is, do I need to script my TED Talk, or maybe I can just come and tell the stories on stage? Here's the thing. Many people think that they are better speakers than they actually are. They think that they will sound and perform well when they don't script their talks, don't prepare that much, and don't rehearse. Some people do that, but many people perform better when they know ahead of time exactly what they are going to say. And there can be two scenarios. One is if you naturally prefer to write everything, starting with your concept and then scripting each part. Then you speak it out loud, rehearse it, and correct your script where it's necessary. Your goal here is to make it sound natural, as if you'd share an unscripted story. So you make all your corrections in your writings and adjust along the way. Another scenario is if you are a talker. You prefer to say everything right away. You can come up with the stories and you feel like you don't need preparation. Still, it's better to write at least a big part of your script, if not all, so when you rehearse it, you also can correct the parts of your performance, change the weak words, remove unnecessary sentences, and so on. When you do it without a script, it's easy to mess up something or go over time on the day of your performance. For you, it might be easier to talk and record what you are going to say. Then use services like rev.com to transcribe your text, and here you go. You got your scripted text that you can work with. And another reason why it also helps to script your talk is that you can manage the time of your performance. When you give a TED Talk, you will have 18 minutes. Try to go over that time, because if it will be longer, then there is a big chance that it might stay unapproved in the system and won't get to a TEDx YouTube channel, and of course, it won't get to a TED official site. When you have a script of your talk or more detailed outlines, you can plan each part and a time of your speech. I would suggest to get it up to 15 minutes, because it's easier to get a little longer when you'll be on stage, and it's good to have some extra time. Your talk can be in a form of a well-prepared speech, demonstrations, and/or performances. You can mix them up if you want to better express your idea. When you will plan your talk, think about what's the thing that you want people to actually do differently. How do you want them to approach things differently? Those things which you are going to talk about. How do you want them to think about them differently? Are there specific behaviors that you want them to put in place? Often, TED Talks include stories or resources to get people involved and show your topic in a more engaging way. With that, when you have a written speech, split it into 3 or 5-minute bits. It's like in a movie. You have different scenes. In a speech, a bit can be a story when you have several of them in your one TED Talk, or a particular part of a story if you share only one along with your speech. So when you memorize and rehearse your TED Talk, it will be easier for you to remember and practice them by the bits. You start with memorizing and practicing the first bit, then the second, then the third, and so on. Then you practice all together. That way, when you'll be on stage, you'll know that your speech is a combination of 2-3 stories or a few parts of the stories. So when you'll give a speech, you'll not need to keep the whole speech in mind all the time. You kind of recall them by those bits. It will be like a combination of mini stories, or a bit can be a part where you perform something and you know that after you finish one, then you just need to recall the next story, the next bit, and then so on for the whole speech. Also, when you will practice your TED Talk, practice it everywhere so it becomes natural for you to give it. Start memorizing and practicing in front of the mirror, then find a good friend who can listen to you and maybe give you feedback. It's also a great opportunity to see the reaction of people to your talk so you can improve along the way. And here again, by yourself, you may practice by the beats, and after you perform in front of your friends a full talk, you'll know which beat you'll need to correct and practice again. It's often seen when a person did not prepare well for a TED Talk and did not practice much, as those speakers get nervous, they pass the 18 minutes limit. You notice that they think right on stage what to say next. When you have your process organized, you will know what follows next, and you will keep it more engaging, and really you will give a really wonderful speech. So when you prepare your speech, watch other TED Talks on your topic to get a sense of how it looks and understand the format. Then you can apply that when you will craft your speech. You're not looking to copy the style of a particular speaker, but to get an overview of possible styles, to find what feels right to you. As I say, it can be a demonstration of something, a performance, not only a speech as we get used to. Watch several TED Talk videos in areas similar to what you plan to share, as well as videos about the topics that interest you, although they may be outside the subject that you plan to talk about, but still they will give you some more ideas on how to craft your talk. More likely, you will have a few rehearsals on stage before the official TED event. Invite someone who you trust and who care about you to come with you on rehearsal. Rehearse your speech on stage and remember that feeling when there's someone who will love you and appreciate you no matter how you will present. You perform for that one person who adores you. After that, whenever you will rehearse by yourself, recall this moment when you're on stage giving your speech feeling confidence, love, and absolute acceptance. Because oftentimes when you get on TEDx stage or any other public speaking stages, you may feel that fear of rejection. That will help you to overcome that. Think about it as an exciting moment that brings you joy. You're absolutely calm and know everything you need to say and act on stage. That way, you train your mind and your feelings way before you give a speech that you'll be great there. It's like on a roller coaster ride. When people scream at the top, you don't know if they scream because they're so happy or because they're so afraid. The thing is that your mind does not know when you feel terrified or excited. But your body reacts the same way. The heart is racing, you get a large amount of adrenaline, body shaking, and only you, your mind, decide what is it, anxiety or it's an excitement. So when you train yourself feeling exciting giving your speech, you kind of install this feeling into yourself. You train your mind that public speaking is an amazing thing. Another thing to take care of is your slides for presentation. TED rules allow you to have them as well as perform without them. Check with the organizers if you will have a screen with the slides somewhere in front of you, but more likely you won't have it. So you will need to remember at what moment to press your remote clicker to change the slides. And it doesn't look good if you turn around every time to check if the slide was changed, so you will think about how you will manage that. There are presentations where slides are necessary because they support a message, but it isn't a requirement for each speaker. So if you feel that slides are not essential for your TEDx talk and they can mess you up, don't use them. Now imagine that it's your time already to give a speech. You wait for a host to announce you. Your performance starts when you step out from behind the curtain. Right when you get on stage, you look at the audience while you walk to your spot. It's a temptation to look at that red circle on the floor, get there, and then look at the audience. So you will walk like this, looking at the spot, and then you stand there and you look and connect with your audience. Make it effective right from the moment they see you. And the same rule is when you finish a speech, start going away, still looking at the audience, and then towards your direction. It's like you stay with them for a little more, even if your speech is over, instead of turning around like, I'm done here. Bye! Giving a TED Talk is an amazing experience that you create putting together these little moments that we just discussed with you. If you want to know more tips on how to prepare for a TED Talk, then watch this video next.